Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to crochet this easy granny square plant hanger. I am using a juice box, it's 1 litre, and I've cut it down to 3 inches and I've pierced a couple of holes in each of the corners. For this project you will need 3 different colours of double knitting yarn, a stitch marker needle and something to cut your yarn with, a 4mm crochet hook and a 3.5mm crochet hook. We are going to start with a 4mm hook and make a magic ring. Then we are going to chain 1 and we'll be placing 8 half double crochets into the magic ring. You can use a stitch marker here if you want. When you're finished, pull the tail to close the magic ring and then place a slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet of the round. Then chain 1 and pull and cut your yarn. I am going to tie both tails together. You can sew them in if you want, but you're not going to see them because they'll be inside the plant hanger. Then you can cut both tails off. Now we're going to change colours, so insert your hook into one of the stitches and grab the yarn you chose for the petals of the flower. I chose white. And make a slip knot. And then pull it through the stitch and chain 1. And for the first petal we're going to start with the chain 2. We'll be placing 3 partial double crochets into the same stitch. So to make a partial you just pull through the first 2 and then you start your next one into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn and pull through 2 and do that one more time. 3 times for the first petal because the chain 2 classes as one. Then you have 4 loops on your hook, pull through all 4, chain 1 to close, and then chain 2 between each petal. Now from the second petal we're going to repeat the same one and you're going to make 4 partial double crochets. That's 2, that's 3 and 4. You have 5 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through all 5 and chain 1 to close, then chain 2 for the gap between. Now you're going to repeat that all the way around the second petal for a total of 8 petals. When you've finished your petals, slip stitch into the top of the first petal and then we are going to chain 1 and pull your yarn and cut it because we're going to change colours again. And then I'm going to bring that tail back behind the petal and then I'm going to tie both tails together. Now we are going to take the colour we chose for the background. Insert your hook into one of the gaps between the petals into the chain 2 gap and make a slip knot. Sorry, we're not using the 4mm, we're using the 3.5 now. Then pull your yarn through and make a chain. And I'm going to make a little knot just to keep the yarn in place. Then we are going to chain 3. I like to insert my stitch marker into the third chain because for some reason it's easier to slip stitch at the end. And then we are going to place 2 double crochets into the same space. This is going to be our first corner, so chain 2 and then place another cluster of 3 double crochets into the same space. Then into the next space we are going to place a cluster of 3 double crochets. Then into the next space we're going to make a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2 and another 3 double crochets. So we made 2 corners. So the next space will be a single cluster of 3 double crochets, and then the next one is a corner, a single cluster, a corner and a single cluster. So repeat this all the way around and I will meet you at the end. When you've finished your round, make a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 you made at the beginning. For the last round we're going to start with a chain 1 and place a half double crochet into this same space. And then place a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And in the corners we are going to place 2 half double crochet, chain 1 and then another 2 half double crochets. Now in the side that we've started we've made 5 half double crochets already. The other side of that square side you're going to have 8. So on each side of the square you're going to have 13 half double crochets. So it's half double crochet in each stitch around, and in the corners it's 2 half double crochet, chain 1, 2 half double crochet. So repeat this all around the square and I'll be back when I finish mine. When you finish the round, place a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round and then chain 1, pull your tail through and cut it. Then you are going to make 4 more, so you have 5 in total, and I'll be back when I've done mine. So here are my 5 squares. Now we're going to connect them. We're going to connect them on the around side first and then the bottom. So we are going to use a single crochet stitch, so make sure when you connect them do them all the same way. So we are going to use the 3.5mm hook, and you want to take the yarn you chose for the edging. I chose the one from the middle. Make a slip knot and insert your hook through one of the corners and make a chain, and then go in to start the single crochet and take the other square for the corner and make a single crochet there. I was going to use a stitch marker but I don't need it because we're working in strips. So I'm going to work over the tail only halfway through the side of the square, and you're going to make a single crochet in each stitch along for a total of 14 stitches. There's only one single crochet in the corner. After you worked over your tail a little bit, you can cut it because it's sort of sewn in. I am going to finish this side so you can see it, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera. And then the last stitch is a single crochet in both corners, and then you chain 1 and pull your tail a little bit, and then you can cut it, and that's how you're going to do the rest of them. So connect them all, and then the last square is connected to the first square on the other side. I am going to start another side with you, and so you can see how I'm doing it again. And then I'm going to do the rest off camera and I'll be back to do the bottom part with you. So I've connected all my sides. Now we are going to connect the bottom. Just pulling my tails through to the inside through the corners. We are going to work over them as we connect the bottom part, the last square. So with your last square, we're going to choose a corner to start from. It's going to be on the right side of the corner of the square facing you. We're going to make a slip knot and connect our yarn with a chain stitch. For some reason I've tied both tails on this corner together and I cut them off, but the rest of them I just worked over the tail and then I cut it halfway through like I did with the rest. So like we started with the other sides, we are going to place a single crochet in both corners together. And then we are going to continue with a single crochet all the way down on each side. So I will do this side with you and I'll show you what to do on the corner, and then I'm going to finish it off camera. And when you get to the corner, you're going to make a single crochet as normal, and then we're going to slip stitch into the last stitch of the side. We're going to slip stitch like that, and then we are going to make the next side. So a single crochet into that corner. And as I said earlier, I work over the tail only halfway across this side, and you should cut it off. I didn't for some reason, but you should cut it off. So I'll finish this. I'm going to finish mine off camera and I'll be back when I'm done. Finishing off with the last single crochet in the last corner and a slip stitch into the end of the side, and then a slip stitch into the first single crochet of this round, and then chain one and pull your tail through, cut it off, and then I'm going to pull it through with the needle and sew it in. As you can see, I left my tails inside. I should have cut them off because they're not going to be in the way, but I highly recommend to cut yours. Now we are going to make the top part using the holes in the box. So grab your hook and your yarn and make a slip knot and connect your yarn to one of the corners. Pull your yarn through and make a chain. Then I'm going to make a couple of knots. Don't cut the tail off, we're going to use it at the end to tie with the last tail from the end. So you are going to make a single crochet into the corner and the hole right next to it, and then you're going to make a single crochet in each stitch down to the other corner. And when you get to the corner stitch, you're going to make a single crochet through the corner and the hole. I've slowed this part down so I can try and explain. So this next stitch is going to be a single crochet, but we're going to pull up 3 loops. So we're going through the same corner and hole, pulling up a loop, and then we're going through the side of the edging, and we're going to pull up a loop, and then we are going to go into the next corner and hole, and we're going to pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. And this is what you're going to do on each corner. I hope that was clear enough. And then we're going to continue to this side with a single crochet in the corner and the hole, and then a single crochet all the way down to the next corner. So I will speed this part up so you can see me do another corner. So let's try this again. The first single crochet you do normal into the corner and the hole, and then the next single crochet you start in the corner and the hole, you pull up a loop, and then to the side stitch, pull up a loop, and then into the next corner and hole, pull up a loop for a total of 4 loops on your hook, and then pull your yarn through all 4. And then you do another single crochet into that same corner and hole, and then you carry on as normal. I'm going to finish this off camera and I'll be back. So I'm back for the last corner, into the first corner and hole, through the side stitch, pull up a loop, and then into the next corner and hole, pull up a loop for 4 loops on your hook, and pull your yarn through all 4, and then we are going to make a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. So now I'm going to tie those 2 tails together. We will sew that short tail in later when we finish the hanging chain. We are going to chain 80. You can do it longer or shorter if you want, but that chain's going to connect into the opposite side of the hanger. When you finished your chain, connect it to the opposite corner with a slip stitch into the big single crochet that we did with both corners, and then cut your yarn off and make another slip knot and connect your yarn to the other corner, make a chain of the same length that you've made before, and connect it to the opposite side, and I'll be back when I've finished mine. So I'm back to connect my second chain with a slip stitch into the big single crochet that we did on the corner, and then chain 1, pull your yarn through and cut it, and then we are going to sew all those tails in. Before we do that, I'm going to take one of the little tails that we've already cut off to connect those 2 chains together. So pull them so they're straight, and then make a double knot with one of the little tails, and then cut the excess off. Then you can take your needle and start sewing those little tails in. It really doesn't have to be perfect, just to hide them into the side of the single crochets, backwards and forwards a couple of times, and that's it. I will show you how I do one, and then I'll do the rest off camera. And here it is with my not dead yet Christmas cactus. I absolutely loved making this. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.